Hey, welcome to my channel, Chit Chat and All That. Well, I'm going to give you 10 things that you need to consider now that he's proposed, so you can get this wedding planning started. If this is your first time here, every Thursday I talk about self-care, dating, and marriage topics. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing. Now that he's proposed, what's next? Here are all the type of things you need to consider. Take it from me, you are going to need about a year or a year and a half to pull this thing off. And trust me, the time goes by really quick. It has seemed like yesterday since he proposed, and boom, there's the wedding. You need to, first of all, choose more than one day. Life has a way of getting in the way. Rather than you being distraught and all bent out of shape because you can't have the special day that you wanted, just choose at least two. Number 3. You are also going to want to make sure that you have one heck of a checklist. There are a lot of things to remember, and you're going to need some help. So this next one is very, very important and extremely pricey. Create a wedding website. I used Zola. I loved it. You can design it so it fits your theme and your colors. You can change the font, you can add photos, you can tell the story of how you met, you can add your schedule. It also has a wedding checklist that I was telling you about earlier, all built in, with a timeline that will notify you when things are due, so you don't get lost in all of this. Honey, is extremely easy to set up and create and alter and change to fit your needs. You can do a seating plan and a guest list, and it has a way to track people that are coming and those that are able to attend. So it makes it a lot easier for you to know what's going on and what isn't. And you can invite other people to kind of help you manage that. The 5th thing is, I would suggest you start looking for that dress, because you have to get it altered and it takes a ridiculous amount of time. Honey, sometimes 3 to 6 months to get a dress altered, and it's gonna cost you about $500 or so for alteration. And ladies, don't blow the budget on your dress. Let me tell you, they have plenty of beautiful dresses at David's Bridal for less than $200. So keep in mind, you're only going to be in that dress for about 3 to 4 hours on one day, and you may be surprised that you'll find one that fits you right off the rack and you don't even have to worry about alterations. Look, I didn't have to have alterations at all. My dress fit completely off the rack, and girl, it cost $199 plus tax. Oh yeah. So I'm not telling you nothing I haven't done or tried or found, okay? Just don't blow all your money on a dress that you're only going to be in a hot second, and then you're going to put it in the attic and never see it again. Number 6. The next thing rather that you're going to need to consider is a venue. And let me tell you, right now you can pay anything from $1,000 on up to 30 grand for a venue. The one thing that you may want to consider when it comes to the amount of money you spend on a venue is, do you want to have one fantastic day or a fantastic future? Now don't get me wrong, I've been to both modest weddings and really expensive ones. Heck, my wedding reception wasn't even more, and wedding reception wasn't more than 5 grand. That's including the dress. And here's what I can tell you. They are essentially the same thing, those smaller weddings and the big weddings. 2 people have chosen to be together and share their love and commitment in front of their friends and families. So rather than spending the money on all the bells and whistles, you may want to just consider taking the majority of that money that you're saving for the wedding and use it for a honeymoon or a down payment on a house, or to pay off debt, so that you're not going into this thing all in the hole, especially since most marriages end in divorce because of finances. So I would suggest you don't start your marriage off in debt. Number 7, have one account that's dedicated to nothing but the wedding and nothing but wedding expenses and reception expenses. That way you know exactly what's coming and what's going out of that account. Girl, if you use your own personal account, it's very easy for you to spend a little bit here and a little bit there along the way and completely lose track of everything you spent. By the time you get to the wedding, you done spent a ridiculous amount of money you never would have spent had you just kept track of your expenses. Now I know you're thinking that you wouldn't do this, but I ask you to just take one moment and think. If I asked you right now to tell me every single solitary thing you purchased and how much you spent on every item that you did this week alone, could you do it? No, you can't. So you see what I'm saying? Just get a separate account and use this account only for wedding expenses. Depending on the size of wedding and the kind of wedding that you're gonna have, you're gonna need some help, honey. Probably more than just your maid of honor. So get your team together and make sure you have a commitment for them about what they're gonna do and what they've decided to help you with. Now, number 9, choose your maid of honor carefully. This woman is your go-to. She should be someone that can keep your head on straight when you're about to lose your mind. And trust me, you will lose your mind. She should be someone who is organized and a positive person and really good with following through on tasks. She has to be self-driven. Like, you can't be chasing after her to asking her to finish this and finish that. She's got to know these are the things she needs to do and just do it. And she really needs to be someone who's creative in her thinking, because she's the one that's going to try to figure out all the problems that are going on that day and fix them so that you don't even realize there's a problem happening. And if it's something that you have to make a decision on, like there's a lot of different things happening and she really needs you to make a decision, she's that person that will come to you having already did the research and just give you a few choices for you to make instead of you having to do a whole lot of thought. Let me tell you what happened to me. I had the best maid of honor. We were right in the middle of the special situation we're living in right now. And we were gonna move forward with the wedding anyway. And we had decided that we were gonna take it from being indoors to take it outdoors. And then all of a sudden the weather kind of changed. And my maid of honor called me and said, hey, we may need to do this indoors. Well, at the time, you know, we were in the height of this thing and I wasn't trying to be inside. And I let her have it. I let her have it. And bless her heart, she was so calm and so understanding about the fact that I had lost my mind. And she just simply gave me some different choices and different alternatives that would kind of still help meet my needs. And then all I had to do was make a simple decision. And that's the kind of woman that you want on your side. I'm sorry to have to tell you, this person may not be your best friend. That particular role comes with a tremendous amount of responsibility. So don't give it to just anyone. Hopefully, your best friend happens to be like my best friend and she's got it all together and can make things happen. But if not, if you got a friend who is really, really busy, she's not gonna have time to invest into your wedding and all the things that are required. If she's not someone who's organized, she's not gonna be able to do this. If you give this role to someone just because you've known them the longest, honey, you're going to regret it. So just be gentle to the friends and whatnot that you have not selected, and try to give them a special role in the wedding, although you've not selected them to be your maid of honor. Number 10, you got to start making that guest list. The reason I say start making it early is because you're going to need time to cross people off. Everybody can't go. See, what most people don't tell you is that the number of people you have at your wedding equals the cost of your wedding and your reception. Because the number of people you have dictate the size of the venue that you'll need. And the bigger the venue, the bigger the cost. And when it comes to food, oh honey, they don't let you know this either. You're gonna pay anywhere from $45 to $65 per person for their meal, all by itself. And oh, did I mention that you spend half of that amount for children? Yes, you will pay $18 to $30 per child that comes to your wedding. So consider how much money you are investing in each person, and you may very well want to consider how much each of these people have invested physically, emotionally, and financially in your life before you add them to your guest list. At the end of the day, the most important thing is for you and your husband to be happy with your choices. Everybody's gonna have their 2 cents to throw in, but it's your wedding. So you guys make the decision. So if you decide you want to have a wedding at a farm sitting on hay bales, or if you choose to have a cookout at a park, or maybe have it at your friend's backyard and for entertainment have all the children perform using their various talents. The wonderful thing about a wedding is they're all completely unique to the individual. So you don't have to do a wedding like any other person has done. Just have fun and be creative. But most importantly, enjoy the journey. Yes, the wedding process can be exciting, but it can also be very stressful and it can put a lot of strain on your relationship. So try and keep that in mind. A lot of couples don't even make it to the wedding day because of all the strain that the planning causes, okay? So make sure you take time to communicate your needs with your spouse, or well, your soon-to-be spouse. Communicate your needs with them. Don't cut below the belt and say something all funky that you can't take back. Be quick to forgive, and remember to ask for help from your spouse and from anyone else that's invested in your life, who care and want the best for you. If you've enjoyed this video, then there's going to be another video that pops up that I think could be helpful for you. My goal is to put out things that matter to you as women. So if there's something that you want or you need or you have feedback, go ahead and put it in the comments. Okay, have a great day, and I'll see you next Thursday.